Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Oh, don't cry, are you?
You are white supremacists. You come from a long line of family who had black people in chains. You should be ashamed of yourself. You owe black people reparations. Get off of The View, give your salary to real black people who suffered under the strong arm of slavery of your Spanish roots. These people are nuts. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Get the merch link in the description section. I'm still running a discount right now, 20% off for everybody who listens to. I want y'all to understand this. Like, if you don't follow me, you don't get a discount, right? People just go to the store. They got to pay full price. But for the people that listen to me on YouTube, I always try to give you a discount because I love you and I appreciate you. It's a way for me to get back. So put in King Jesus, get 20% off. King Jesus, get 20% off. And this shirt is flying off the charts. So you might want to get it now before we sold out. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notification anytime I go live, make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to the channel. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Tatum Show. I actually like Sunny Hostin. She gives me so much content that I should like send her a check and say thank you. This woman, there's a part of me that would like to go on The View, but I know that it's going to be a train wreck. And so I'm kind of discouraged because I think it wouldn't be fruitful. Maybe it'd be good content to have, but I can't imagine if they had a real man on there that was bold enough to just stand up to, like, when Sunny Hostin had a white girl on there, she go, if you look like me, you would think differently about racism in America. And it's like, well, if I was on the panel, I'd say, Sunny, I'm black and I disagree with you. You are just making up something out the side of your neck. You know your son didn't get called an N-word on the beach the other day. She said multiple times, like, that scenario just didn't happen. And I would argue I'll shut up and send you $1,000 check if you could prove that happened to your son. Give me this. Let's talk this through. How did this happen? So we can make sure it never happened again. And we can hold people accountable that called your son an N-word if that in fact happened on the beach. Well, there's no evidence. There's no video. It didn't happen. But nobody's going to call her out like that on the show. And Whoopi Goldberg and them just making up stuff, talking about white supremacy is the biggest threat in America. The FBI ruled that white supremacy is the biggest threat in America. Like, what does that look like? What does that look? How many people have white supremacy killed in America? None. I mean, I know what white supremacists have killed somebody in America that we know of. I would argue more trans people than kill people than white supremacists. Maybe trans is the biggest threat in America. These gay dudes running around humping each other and getting AIDS and passing it on to everybody. I'm not saying gay dudes are the only ones giving AIDS, but the percentage of gay people that are passing AIDS along one to another and passing AIDS along in the black community is highly more prevalent than any other group of people in America. Maybe that's a big threat. How many people are dying from AIDS? Or maybe these drug dealers that's selling this fentanyl and killing hundreds of thousands of people in America. Maybe that's a bigger threat than white supremacy. But nobody's going to get on television and challenge these people on these points. Anyway, let me play a clip of Sunny Hostin because it's just entertaining to me. Clip 1.
Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah. So how are you feeling, my friend?
I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And I think it's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's a fact of life that this is how some people made their living, on the backs of others.
You know, I was really reluctant. I don't know how you felt when you did it, Whoopi, but I was really reluctant to do it because I just sensed that there could be something in my family history that would be disappointing.
Negative.
Negative, yes. I thought I was going to have that kind of moment. And Skip had asked me to do it for a long time. And I finally decided to do it because I thought it'd be helpful for my children and my children's children to know what their real history was, you know? But what I found out was that my mother's family, while they are Puerto Rican, they actually originate from Spain. And the reason that they moved to Puerto Rico is because the slave trade had been sort of canceled in Spain and then Curacao, and then they moved all of their slaves to Puerto Rico. And so the family business, I had been told that they were printers and journalists, but they were in fact enslavers. And my mother, so
A hush fell over the
it was
audience.
deeply disappointing.
Oh, Sonny, you can't just stop now. You are white supremacists. You come from a long line of family who had black people in chains. You should be ashamed of yourself. You owe black people reparations. Get off of The View. Give your salary to real black people who suffered under the strong arm of slavery of your Spanish roots. These people are nuts. They go and they beat people over the head and talk trash about white people, and they come from slave owners. These people are so stupid to me. Sonny, now your demeanor has changed. Now, it's just a fact of life and how people made money. Oh, really? On the backs of others. No, beating others, beating black people. Now, I could have told you she got some roots that didn't come directly from Africa because she's light-skinned. Last time I checked, when you come from Africa, you dark. They purple in Africa. And then by the time you mix with all these other races and you come out to be a yellow bone, that means you got white and all kind of stuff in you. You ain't no pure black. Descendants of slaves. I looked up my ancestry. You see how light skinned I am? Now I'm not yellow, but I'm caramel. I'm not dark. What do you know? There's white people down the line. Surprise, surprise, puppy surprise. And they just go hard on people all day long, talking about this country is a racist country, and you came from the descendants of slave owners. Make an apology to the world. Go out on your social media platform and say, I'm sorry for enslaving black people. Because it's funny that these same fools want to hold every white person accountable for some white people then did that they ain't connected to them, don't know them, never knew them, never owned a slave. Many of these white people came over here after slavery was over. They have no connection to slavery, but their skin color has a connection to slavery, so they want to hold them accountable even to today in 2024. But yet she finds out that her ancestry leads back to slave ownership. And hey, what about condemning? You should be condemning yourself. You the reason. Listen, Sonny, your people the reason that black people are struggling today, right? The history of your Spanish slave owning legacy. It's funny that they somehow, it was another woman that was like a crazy activist. Come to find out her people own slaves. If you go and look back over the history of most people in America, period, I would argue that you got your toe in all kind of different stuff. I can find fault in everybody. You know, the funny, interesting thing is people spend so much time harping on white people's destruction of black people. In modern society, black people have destroyed more black people and black entrepreneurship and enterprise, black youth. Black people have done more damage to black people than slavery had today. Why do you say that, Mr. Tatum? Because when you look at the amount of growth and success potential now that could have been realized, and to not take advantage of that in America is almost worse, or maybe even worse off than what blacks went through in slavery. What do you say? Oh, Angela Davis was that woman. Angela Davis, look her up, crazy activist. But when I look at black folks, you say the progression of black people, they came over here as slaves, right? They came over here as slaves, the black people who were slaves. And what was their progress model? In the model in which they were in, they had no upper mobility unless you became a house slave, or you worked in the city and you were a slave, or you worked on a job, or you purchased your freedom. That was the mobility right there. That was the only mobility potential. You can't go no further down, and you can't go no further up. But in today's society, we have a high ceiling and still ain't doing nothing. Hold the phone.